So the next item on the agenda is the keynote by Shola. I think everyone knows Shola as a technology entrepreneur. Wait, shall we go to, just hold on. Okay, come, let me watch you on stage. I'll have to watch you on stage. So, ironically, Shola is the biggest problem we have in the ecosystem. I'll explain to you how. You know, I have counterintuition. So the problem with, I won't call it perfection, but Shola turned out to be the ideal founder. Deals, come on stage, let us see you. So Shola turned out to be an ideal founder. So imagine making your first bet at Shola, right? Investor reports, agreements with handshake, flying economy, being frugal, valuation sensible, product that solves a problem, you know, level-headed, approachable. No, I'm serious. Stock options for startups, having a good brand, a good culture. So that's the very first investment you're putting in. So why Shola was there giving us problem is that we took the idea somehow that everyone is like Shola. You know? Then you now see founders that you give them. I don't enter business class just once in my life. Shola is not too pleased with me. But you give the founder money and he's on flying business class. You know? In 2018, when did you buy your Hyundai? No, he bought a Hyundai after his Series A, and he was not able to pay cash. He had to pay in 2 installments. I'm telling you, I was Hyundai. It was 2.5 from that guy in Ikeja. I was there. You understand? So what I'm just trying to say is that he has been the epitome of what a founder should be like. Of course, at the exit of Paystack, I don't know who is watching, so I wouldn't say anything. It was tough. Nobody made anything. It was very difficult for everybody. But you understand. Yeah. I think everybody was happy, and their still heads on working. After the exit, when life was supposed to be good and everybody's saying, hey, I would go to the beach. I've forgotten what was happening in January. Shola said, man, I can't see you for the next 2 days. I have a board meeting to prepare for. The diligence that he puts in. So I do not know if it's Shola or that's how the ideal founder is, but it is what it is. I had this arrogant article I wanted to write. I didn't publish it. Maybe thankfully now things are tough. They would have killed all the tech founders. But my theory then was that when you have technology founders that are successful, go into any endeavor and they apply that mindset of being global from day one, being world-class from day one, we would see it. Now we have Sporting Lagos. I'm not challenging anybody on his behalf before I create enemies for him. But the thing is that you can see it being replicated. So whatever Shola has to say, like I said, my man, but I did treat him like the executive he is, you know? There's so much to learn from him. And you can see excellent, no mistake. You can see what's happening with Sporting. It's deliberate. Hopefully, we'll learn the lessons from that. And the idea of coming here is everybody wants Shola to mentor them. Mentor me. It can't scale. The only way we can scale is having conversations and he teaching at scale. We're the grassroots. You can meet us, right? So thank you very much.
Was it my keynote or your keynote?
This is a pre-keynote.
Keynote.
Since we have pre-seeds, pre-keynote. Okay, all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, O. I used to say that Paystack was a party trick until I met O, right? I figured out how to charge a card with my laptop, my local host, and I will be showing all my friends, like, yo, bring your card, let me charge it. I'll charge it. Boom, you don't get the alert. Yes. Yeah, it was a party trick. And then I met O, and I did it for O. I was like, Bobs, this is a company. This is Stripe. And from that moment, you know, just a lot of things. And so shout out. Thanks, O. Until I still call him every month for advice, you know. So thank you. My only problem is that this is going to be counterintuitive. After hyping me, I'm about to bring you down. It talks too much. But the good news is that I guess number one lesson as a founder is just like figuring out how to just like get what you want from people, right? Oh, it's extremely like when I talk to him, I come out better. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, I've gotten what I want. Thank you so much. Bye. So I just wanted to spend about 5-10 minutes today just talking about some of the very early stages of Paystack, and I came with receipts. I can't see the screen, so this is very strange. But I wanted to say that, sometimes when you start, people don't see everything that happens when you're building the company. They just see things they see on the internet, right? And so I wanted to just walk you through I just came with a few slides, some early resources. Don't take screenshots from it. So I'd say I've personally been excited about the journey at Paystack. I think my life has changed multiple times. I remember getting $120,000 from Y Combinator. I'm like, yo! And I took a screenshot and sent it to all my friends. Like, yo, this is the end, and just it kept going. So I'll start with the name. Very simple. This was an email to OO, actually. Exactly, right? Because the journey doesn't start at the beginning. It starts while you're trying to take the name. So we were trying to pick names. I sent him an email. I was like, I have 4 names on my head. Easy Charge, Fake It, Paystack, and Bounce. Which one should I use? Just like, Goga, why are you asking me this? It's very obvious. It's Paystack. And then early hiring. It's so small, don't worry. This is Okpe, actually. Okpe, this is 28 July 2015. I can't read it a lot, but I guess I'll have to scroll. But this, I was telling him to help me do the front end from Paystack. I needed it in 5 days. Okpe is still working with Paystack 7 years later, or 8 years later, actually. Very interesting stat about Paystack. The first 7 people at Paystack still work at Paystack today. Which is, I guess, and so when you start, it's just, those first people you work with are just the people that build the company with you. So it's very important. This is the intro sent to YC. Sorry, I don't know if the screen is working well, but this is, this day I was sleeping and I just woke up to a mail. It copied all the YC files. That's Sam Hoffman of OpenAI, Michael Silver. I know it was like, hi, Sam, Michael. Stripe recently began, my eyes are bad. Okay, I guess we'll keep moving. Next, actually, I should show you this. This was a negotiation I had for the Paystack domain name. When we launched Paystack, it was paystack.co because how can I do it? But I realized there was a paystack.com. And so I sent, this was October 8th, 2015. I said, hi, Sam, I'm interested in your paystack.com domain name. Please get back to me. I was like, hey, Shola, cool, it's available. Let me know what your offer is. Like, I know this sounds very small, but I'll be grateful if I can pay $250. Thanks. The guy was like, sorry, that's not even close to the ballpark for the previous offers. Good luck. Like, shit. This was our president. And I was like, okay, I see. Can you give me a number to work with? It was like 7,000. I'm like, wow. Can I pay 5K? I don't have it now, but I'll raise it by January. I was like, yes, let's do it in January. And then I got into YC 2 weeks later. I'm like, Chairman, hello. I'm coming. So that's that. Let me see. And so this is where we went to YC, Ezra and I. We just wanted to take a photo of welcome to San Francisco. We didn't expect to get into YC. We thought this is for big boys like Airbnb, Stripe, and the rest. And so we went to San Francisco. We said, guys, we have to take a photo at the airport. The guy took the first photo. I'm like, no, we want the San Francisco to show. You can see how we were so low there. So that was cool. And then I did the YC demo day. I'm going to show you my pitch. And the next morning, so it was just something like this, right? And there were about 700 investors in the room, and they had to say if they liked me or not. And I was just looking through it. And then I slept. And I woke up the next morning. I got this email from Iro. Actually, he sent it exactly at 11 p.m., right? But I guess in San Francisco time, it was early. It was like, my name is Iro, founder, blah, blah, blah. I got his permission to show this anyways. Because I had an initial engagement in India this week, that's why I couldn't show up. YC sent me the video of your demo day. I was attracted by you folks and your business. Is it possible to have a Skype call, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Iro, yes. I don't have my computer, I will have shown you. So I set up the meeting like 4 hours later, literally. So we spoke very early. And Iro was like, yo, I like what you guys are doing, but it's unfortunate. Like, I haven't done a lot of business in Africa. So you're going to be the first person in Africa. So, is there a chance I can just give you 100K? Oh God! Yes. So immediately I sent him an email. I'm like, oh, it was good speaking with you. I agreed. This is to confirm, blah, 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 blah. Don't forget. And then, so we did this. Yeah. And that was very important, right? Because surprisingly, as founders, it's very hard to pitch. And I had already set up a few meetings during the day. But I think the next meeting I had, like, how much are you trying to raise? I was like, $1 million. How much have you raised so far? I'm like, 100K. Okay. Yeah, and I think the guy even said no still. But I thought just like that momentum for the raise. And it's been a very, very good investor. Just very early connections. Thank you so much, Ariel. And then he came to visit us at home, and in San Francisco then, so it was just very good. I'm running out of time because, give me just 10 minutes. But the last thing I wanted to show is some of the, people ask me sometimes, like, what are some of the tough times?
Shola, you have 5 extra minutes, please.
Okay,
There's no need to rush. I will stop talking.
What are some of the tough times you faced as a founder? And I remember this day. This was sort of like the hardest day for me. I was in San Francisco, thankfully. I was trying to close our round. So what happened was in 2018, so again, fast forward the Paystack story. In 2018, January, I met Patrick from Stripe, and he offered to invest in Paystack. And then we started doing the diligence. And then Patrick and John were coming to South Africa because Obama was coming to South Africa. And they were like, oh, this would be a good time to announce the deal the next week. And so Obama's people, I guess, Obama's account followed me on Twitter. And I'm like, yo, my life is about to be good. And then, I think sorry, I don't know what I'm pressing. And then, the first one, just read the first part. I was like, wahala. We got this email from CBN today. This is really bad, considering where we are this round. Khadija from my team is handling this. She's prepared a draft to respond. It would be great if we can get in a call to give her with context and help with the next steps. In fact, for the first time in my life, I said, I can't get involved because of my mental health. She can be rich. I called Kola, Kola, I'm big, wahala, But the surprising thing was my sense of humor. Because in this trouble, I got another email, and I sent it to my lawyers again. I said, double wahala. And I was like, I just learned that operatives from DSS came to our office earlier today to investigate, arrest the directors over some fraud issues that happened in December. Like, we explained our business to them, but they've asked, blah, 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 please help. So basically, people, I guess someone got defrauded by somebody on Paystack, and then they called somebody in DSS and said, go and bring the founders. And DSS people came to our office, and they didn't see me, and they picked somebody from my office, and they said, you must sleep in prison. I'm just like, God, I wanted to start a company. I just wanted to build stuff. Why am I dealing with DSS, CBN, God, so, but the good news or the bad news is that it's ups and downs. Like in the last 8 years, it's been ups, down, ups and down. And as founders, sometimes when you're down, I think what really helps is just having good people around you, good investors. Again, maybe this is my time to watch Kola. I have a lot of people, but just like, Kola, please. They've arrested one of my person. One of my person was driving, just help, or CBN, I need this thing, I need that, So I'll say that just having good people around you is important for the down times. And in the good times, and I guess that's why people ask me, why am I humble? I'm like, it's not because of anything. It's because I've seen the ups and downs. The fact that I'm up now does not mean that tomorrow I will not come down. So it's just a trend. But before I go, I wanted to show a video of my first pitch. Demo, do you guys want to switch it for me? Which is my demo day. Nobody should laugh. If you laugh, we're going to pause this video. But I also wanted to show, don't laugh at my jeans. Is the audio coming out?
Hi, everyone. I'm Shola. This is Ezra, and we are Paystack. At Paystack, we're fixing online payments in Africa. We're starting with Nigeria. There are 180 million people in Nigeria. And last year, they paid businesses $150 billion. Although 60 million of these people are active internet users, most of these payments were made offline. This is because paying on the internet is broken. For example, setting up recurring billing requires the customer to fill out a paper form. Well, that was before Paystack. Now, businesses come on Paystack and are immediately able to accept payments from their websites and mobile apps. The customers can pay them using the credit cards, the debit cards, direct debits, and mobile money without friction. And we will continue to add more payment methods. We've signed up over 700 businesses in the past 10 weeks, even though we're still in beta. Last week, we processed over $18,000.
Last week,
our early customers
processed over
include the largest hotels website in Nigeria, an internet service provider, and a microfinance institution offering short-term loans. All these businesses are coming to us because we've made a huge leap over what currently exists. We've reduced the integration time from over 3 weeks to less than 30 minutes. We've reworked the customer experience. Something that takes 7 payment steps now takes 2 steps. And as I mentioned earlier, recurring billing is now possible. Our team is very solid. We've built software that has been used in over 40 countries. And we've built payment products for 3 of the largest banks in Nigeria. With 6 million Nigerians joining the internet every year, there are so many businesses trying to sell to them. And Paystack is empowering these businesses.
If this sounds
interesting to you,
come talk to us.
Please come talk to us. Thank you.
Yeah. It was a good pitch, right? Exactly. And 8 years later, the vision is still the same. The promise is still the same. The pitch is still the same. So I guess just to finalize, I just want to say shout out to all the founders building great stuff, hustling, and building the future. It's sometimes very difficult, but it is also very, very rewarding. Just creating stuff that should exist and making it work, I think, is very powerful. So without talking too much, I want to say good luck to all the participants today.
I want to take a picture with him on stage.
And thank you to all the investors, and thanks to everyone. So,
thank you.
I can take 1 or 2 questions. Yeah.
So he's offering to take questions for 5 minutes, maximum.
Okay.
Maximum. Any questions? Going?
Okay. It's hard to see.
Yeah. Okay. Who has a mic? I think someone is there. Okay, Kola is here. Okay. Where's the mic? Okay. So we'll take 3 questions. Okay. Kola. Introduce yourself.
Thanks, Shola. How did you manage to stay consistent with being accountable and reporting even in the bad times? I mean, as an early investor in Paystack, I can attest to the consistency with which you reported all through the years. So much so that when you were going to make the official announcement of the exit, I remember that you replied all to to the first investor update, and that made me very emotional when it happened. How did you manage to stay consistent through all the ups and downs? Because when you talk to founders that aren't reporting, they say, oh, there's nothing good to report, so we decided not to report. Any anecdotes for the house? Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Colin.
To be honest, the answer is I don't know. But I think sometimes it's coming back to the vision, right? I feel like the Paystack vision was very clearly obvious that I can't deliver it on my own. And from experience, I feel like sometimes founders just realize that you've raised the money, I'm done with investors, like it's over, right? So I think for me, just consistently knowing that I need as many people as possible to carry along in this journey, because the vision is bigger than me, the execution is bigger than me, and I just need to carry everybody along. And also, unfortunately, and maybe that's the real answer, I'm not a chitty-chatty person. Like, I don't like to call people and say, how are you? How was your house? How was your family? I don't like it. So I feel like the investor report is a good way to stay in touch and just like, so that the next time I call you is not a problem, right? But I also don't want to call you and say, happy birthday, how was your child's birthday? I'm just like, you guys, I have 45 investors. How many people am I going to wish happy birthday? So I'll say that, yeah, exactly. So I think number one, just knowing that you need people to help you deliver the journey. And number two, it was a very simple, easy way to stay in touch. And most people, and shout out to you, will also reply the investor report and say, you know what, oh, congrats, this. And that for me was good. It was, and shout out to Iro too. Sometimes just send me a message on Facebook. Oh, I just saw the investor report. Good progress. Good, exactly. How else would I keep a relationship with someone that I've known for 8 years, for example? Yeah, so thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Shola, I'm Khadija. Can you hear me?
No, put it close to you.
Okay. Hi, Shola. I'm Khadija. So I came here just for you, actually. I saw your tweet yesterday, and I was like, I asked for permission from my line manager. I work in a fintech, and, you saw a problem for businesses to accept payments easily, and you had value proposition for them. Now, looking at how the market has changed, how your users have changed, how there are upcoming, companies or startups that are doing the same thing that you do. How do you try to maintain the value proposition that you had then, considering the fact that the market was not what it was now, and then the businesses that these customers have adopted to different payment infrastructures? Right, so how have you been able to do that? And also, you mentioned how you had people, understanding the vision, which is your why. Like, why did you do this in the first place? Now, as humans, we change. How do you make sure that everybody's personal vision and then the vision for Paystack is aligned to make sure that you deliver value via the product and the business at the same time? Thank you.
All right, cool, thanks. I think the first question, how do you navigate the changes in the market? I'll say it's just being focused on your customers. I think sometimes there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of distraction around. And I think if you just build very strong, intimate relationships with your customers and just continue to meet their needs, then it doesn't matter, right? If the market changes, the needs of your customers will change, and your focus will allow you deliver that. So I'd say, being super clear and focused on the needs of the customers. And also not trying to, sometimes it's very interesting, right? Sometimes you want to do too much, but then you try to do too much, and then you now lose the core thing that you're trying to do again, right? So I'll say, again, just being focused on the needs of the customers. I think that's the first one. The second question was, how do you, keep the vision even when you bring different people, right? And I think that was very useful. And I didn't talk about it because I was saying the positive sides of having investors. But the negative side is that when you collect money from 44 people and you hire 50 people, everybody else is going to come with the idea of what you should be doing, right? And I think for me, the moment I had that clarity to say, you know what, actually, investors are investing in me because they saw something in me, right? If they wanted to do Paystack, they will build their own company, and they will not, they will leave me alone, So I think, and so the fact that you're also my investor does not mean you should tell me what to do. You can advise me, I can listen to you, I can ask questions, right? But I can't just internalize everything you say to me. So I'd say the first part was just having the clarity to know how to have conversations with people and listen to people. And if someone gives me an idea, I don't take it like that. I give it back to them and say, oh, why is this a good idea? Why should we do this? So eventually, we're like, okay, maybe you should just continue what you were doing. So I'd say just, but also being approachable enough, right? Because you don't want to kill conversations. So I'd say on the stakeholder side, just managing your stakeholders, but knowing that it is you are the one steering the ship and figuring out how to use people. And then on the team side, again, almost the same thing. And just being that person that is listening, that is crystallizing everything, and is just saying, guys, I think this is what we should do. And selling it, and hearing from them, listening to them, and doing that. I would say that it happens. I remember one story I was telling my team last week, that when we wanted to launch Paystack in 2017, people said, oh, let's launch a consumer, blah, blah, blah. Let's launch a consumer app. We're like, should we do it? Should we not do it? So thankfully, I don't know the clarity that we had. And we're like, okay, you know what? Right now, we're processing 200 million naira a month. This is the business we wanted to run. When we get to 5 billion naira a month, we will launch a consumer app or something like that. And everybody was like, okay. And then, of course, we crossed it. But the focus and the work that allowed us just, let's continue to scale this was useful. So I'd say that when someone sends you a vision that is different and takes you in a different direction, it's good to remind them, and if possible, create milestones such as, actually, together, let's get here first. When we get here, we'll talk about the next thing. And I think that's something that has worked for me.
So there's something to point out. When Shola is talking about people the 45 people, now 45 people they talk for, on their own, right? But you should learn something here, and this is a lesson to everybody that complains about me. I tell them, it's because of him I started saying advice in a buffet. You take what you want, in what quantity, if you want at all. So my job is to serve you a buffet. And what Shola does, there are two things. He doesn't kill the conversation. That's what he said. Oh, why? Good, interesting. He doesn't try to convince you back to change your mind, because the decision will be with him. Be like, I got it. Thank you. And I would have said 20 things, but the 17th one is what he wanted. He would say, I got it. Okay, I have to go. Then he'll go do it. Then come back again. So me, Mumu, now, I'll still go and talk again. They say, I got it. Thank you. But some people will be like, no, let me tell you why you're wrong. Whereas you don't need to convince me, it's in your hands. So being able to manage stakeholders. One thing again that Shola does, because it's important to, hopefully one day we'll have a longer session. We have one more question. But it's important to understand things happen behind the scenes. This is a master consultant. Sometimes he wants to send a tweet. He'll say, oh, how does it be? And he will make you feel like you're the only one he asks for advice. You'll be like, bah, bah. You'll be like, yes, me now, Shola business man. Next thing, you'll find like 15 of you, But again, it's all about getting data points, then making the decision. All of us only have a perspective. He has multiple perspectives than internal one. So he consults. So when you wake up, somebody has given you money and you just run away with it, you're losing out. All these people want you to succeed. So you have 45 perspectives, and you can cut and slice in any shape or form you want to collect from. So one more question, because Shola has to go.
Thank you. Hi, Shola. My name is Eloho. I'm a co-founder of First Check Africa. So I think I've heard you speak a few times, and I think sometimes it's a little bit deceptive, right? Because your nature is such that if one doesn't listen very carefully, the nuggets get a bit lost. And I'll tell you where I'm going. You've said a few really, really insightful things today. You've talked to us about the vision and the clarity of vision. When you shared this slide and you talked about the value proposition that you are delivering with Paystack, it was very specific. You talked about why anybody should use Paystack. I thought it was a great pitch, by the way. You talked about your investors around the table. You talked about how you manage them. When Kola asked you how, you said, well, I don't really know. Then you told us how you did it. And then I think to O's point, you've talked a bit also about, even having that investor base of 45, how you think about and I'm sure you've gotten better over time, but how you thought about from day one, how you are using those investors. The thing that part of the reason that you're on the stage today is because you built a great company. You talked about your 7 first employees still working at Paystack, and they wouldn't be there if you hadn't built a great company. They wouldn't be there if you weren't a great founder to work for. And you wouldn't be on the stage today probably if you might be, but part of the reason that you're on the stage today is because you built a great company and you achieved a great exit. So I want you to talk a little bit about exits. I don't believe that the exit happened by accident. I remember from very, very early on, you always used to describe Paystack as the Stripe of Africa. I don't think that was, I think that was very intentional from day one. And I think, maybe it wasn't, correct me, but I think that a lot of founders forget, we've talked about alignment today, forget that part of that alignment is that when you take capital from investors, we have to be able to see where the exit is and how I make my money. And that's one of the reasons that so many investors around the table get excited when they talk about Shola and Paystack. So talk to us a bit about, in 30 seconds, 1 minute, how much of the journey started with, I want to build a company because I want to achieve this at the end, and how you thought about, the path from day one, 8 years ago to today, where you have achieved an exit for Paystack.
Okay, wow, that's it. Thank you so much, Ella. I think, okay. I think, and maybe if the answer was, what I heard was, talk to us about the exit and the journey there. I think for me, what I always said was the exit strategy is growth. You just have to keep getting bigger. Companies are bought, not sold. If you have to say, I want to sell my company, there's a problem, right? And so for us, it wasn't really about the exit, right? It was about just getting bigger. And I think it helped, right? Because Stripe was, and when you say Stripe for Africa, to be honest, I think it was for clarity. And that's why I said no. It wasn't because, and one of the things Stripe also said was that there's so many Stripe clones, but what makes Paystack interesting for them is that Paystack was not a Stripe clone. Paystack was solving the problem independently. There are features we launched in 2016. The Stripe launched in 2021. That's like 5 years, So Paystack was not a Stripe clone, although I looked at their documentation. So I'd say that, but it was important to have that clarity to say, you know what, we're building something like Stripe. And I think that was important, so that was that. And then on the exit side, I think another problem founders have, and I think it comes from advisors, to be honest. I feel like either you have you see yourself higher than, and maybe some investors said, I don't have ambition. So I'm like, I have clear ambition about the product I'm trying to build, but I'm not delusional about how I want to work with people, right? I'm not trying to get the best deal out of everybody. I just want to move. I want to move. And if you're going to help me move, I just want to keep moving. And so even the exit wasn't an exit. I guess that's why the word exit is a bit scary, right? It was because I want to keep moving. I want to solve. I have my ambitions. Every time you try to pay in Nigeria and it doesn't work well. Every time you want to send money to somebody in Kenya and he can't do it. That's still a big problem, right? And so for us, when Stripe, our biggest investor, started talking to us about how they wanted to do more, and they thought we will be good partners. And in that period, and people don't know this, I had 3 other term sheets from 3 other people that wanted to do Series B. And so it was just a buffet of like, which of these options is like, pick between 3 options. I just closed my eyes, many more. And it landed on Stripe. I'm like, okay. but figuratively, right, I think that's close to what happened, where it was a bunch of options. And I thought personally that at the point we had gone to, with the journey we've gone, with where the ecosystem was, with where we need to go to, let's just do it. We did not use an investment banker. People are surprised that you can do an exit that big, because it wasn't about trying to get a banker, get in the room with Stripe and say, Stripe. It wasn't about that. It was what we wanted the best partner that can help us move forward. And we listened to them. We looked at the numbers, just like, okay, it makes sense in principle, and let's keep moving. So I think for founders, maybe if there's a lesson to be learned, it's not always about getting, or when you talk about what is the best deal, the best deal is not always the best price. The best deal is the package. And people do that in their personal lives. People take jobs because it's their friend. People do things in their personal life. So if in your personal life you're not just optimizing for the best price in everything, why do you think your work, you'll do that? So I'll say, again, to summarize, it was a good conversation. The journey for us was about getting bigger. Till today, I'm still focused on growth. Like, what gets me excited is, can I be bigger tomorrow than I was yesterday? And if I can continue to do that for the next 5 years, it is powerful, it is exciting, it's something I really, really enjoy. So thank you so much, everybody. Thanks.
Hold on. We can take a picture.
Yeah.
So 2 things. I like what Elon said, but sometimes maybe a story has to be told. I've always said a documentary will be done. He has told his perspective. I have to tell my own perspective of him. So 2 things. One is that for Paystack, from day one, they built a world-class operation. There are too many companies that when you just get in like this, when they found that they spray money from company accounts, What I'm saying is that the entity was something that Stripe could work with. The quality of the code, the quality of the product, the culture that was built. So he is the typical person that says, I don't know what I'm writing. We'll now get A. You forget to spy him and you get E, So he may truly be unaware of what is everyday basic stuff for him, right? Like he said, I should just communicate. Somebody gave him one, I should communicate. But people don't think of it that way. So one thing I know for sure is truly he built a company that, I always used to tell him this, and when we were discussing earlier of Paystack, he was like, if this could work, why has this bank not done it, that bank not done it? I said, in the whole country, don't you know say you rank? Like, you're really one of the baddest. But he didn't believe it. But now we see. So that was one. Then when you talk about not optimizing for the price, so, again, when the offer came in, I was one of those that said, you know what? I know how this thing is done. Let us try and get, who are those people in Europe again? The other payment company in Europe. Adyen, right? I said, let us find a way, leak something to Adyen so there will be a bidding war. Shall I say I don't roll? I don't do that. I'm like, no, that's not how it's done. You have to find a way to extract, bring out, And again, that goes to his personality. Other people would just do that, and I'm sure that type of mentality would have just rubbed off in everything they are doing. One more anecdote was when Shola moved to the second office. When they had moved to the second office, they had stayed there for 1 year. I think it was 1 year. And they had paid, is it 2 million for service charge, agency fee? I'm like, how can you leave all this and move to another office? It's like, I'm optimized for the growth. I said, no, we need to, you go squeeze everybody. We can't let the 2.5 extra waste. So in the pursuit of 2.5 million extra not wasting, you can abandon another 50, 100 million growth. So that's another thing I don't know. So those are things I have observed externally. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.